Guys, if Toyota says it's high time, it probably is. But what do you get high on? A new SUV perhaps? It's time to say hello to the urban cruiser Hyryder, an all-new product from Toyota, and finally a product that wears a global design language. Looks quite interesting and reminds me of the RAV4, especially with that lower down section on the bumper. But I'll break it down for you, starting with the front. These DRLs that are split by the chrome grille that is there. Looks quite interesting. It also has this textured finish, sort of a carbon fiber treatment to it. This cut makes it look quite sporty. Headlamps that have been positioned lower down on the bumper with a chrome surround on it. And that is the section that will provide majority of the cooling for the engine. As you can see, this is shut off to make it look quite sporty. Also, what I like is this lower lip on the bumper. Quite an attractive looking SUV. Now moving to the side, and actually before I do that, this bonnet, it also has a power bulge on the top, makes it look quite SUV-ish. And doing that further is the heavy cladding on the side that you'll notice establishes its SUV credentials. 17-inch alloy wheels, diamond cut, dual tone, very attractive looking. Also discs at all four corners, and this also gets tire pressure monitoring system on this very variant. This is finished in this dual tone color option, so you notice the roof, the pillars and the rear view mirrors all blacked out. Hybrid badging here on the door. Powertrain options is what we'll discuss very shortly. Notice this steady belt line that raises towards the end, merges very nicely with this panel. Again, very interesting looking. We've already spoken about the alloy wheels. They could look quite nice. Shark fin antenna on the top, and overall it's the side, the profile that makes it look very attractive. Slightly bigger than the Creta in terms of the length is what I think it is, but it definitely looks a lot more sportier and less polarizing as well. Now let's quickly glance at the rear of the urban cruiser Hyryder, which I think looks better than the front. Which one do you prefer? Which angle of the Hyryder do you prefer? Let us know in the comments below. I like the rear, and that is prominently because of these tail lamps. Look how sleek they are, and they have these twin C elements that are connected with a chrome bar in the middle. Looks quite nice. I actually quite like it. Very interestingly how they've used the lighting elements as well. So these are your park lamps, and then you have your brake light placed here, and the rest of the lights have been placed in a different segment here. You have your indicator, your reverse light and a reflector, and because of this housing, the bumper itself bulges out, again adding to that SUV-ness. The lower side of the bumper, I mean, it looks really good, but this little addition that they've made here add to the SUV credentials. This is obviously a fog diffuser. Now again, hybrid badging. Once again, Toyota is entering this segment with hybrid technology for the very first time, and they want to make it loud and clear. 3 badges on the outside, but I mean, it definitely needs attention. Is there anything else that I like? Obviously, you get that blacked out spoiler that is again very well integrated, and it also has a high stop lamp. You get rear wiper. Now let's quickly glance at the engine options that you have with the urban cruiser Hyryder. Now this, being the hybrid version, comes with a 1.5-litre naturally aspirated engine, and this engine comes paired with a strong hybrid self-charging hybrid system that is paired with it. Also comes with the eCVT transmission. The other option that you have is a 1.5-litre naturally aspirated K15 engine that we've already seen with the updated Brezza. Now this engine, the K15C, will come with an option of a 5-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic torque converter, and will be offered with a 2-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive option as well. So there you go, quite a few powertrain and drivetrain options that you get with the urban cruiser Hyryder. Alright, now let's also quickly sample the rear bench of the urban cruiser Hyryder. Now, okay, in terms of the space, it is just about adequate. Knee room, just about there. Thigh support, as you can see, it's not the best. Headroom is actually quite less, and that makes the cabin feel a little tight, a little compact. But in terms of the features, let me tell you, you obviously get these seats that are nice and comfortable. The seats themselves 60-40 split, and also Toyota is offering a 2-step recline with the rear bench. There is a vent here for the batteries placed in the boot, a central armrest, 2 cup holders in it, 2 chargers here, a USB Type A and a Type C. You get AC vents with blower control and some space to put in your knickknacks. A panoramic sunroof that makes the cabin feel slightly bigger and airy. However, I would like to point out that this unit, this panoramic unit, is actually quite narrow and small as compared to what the Creta offers. But that's about it. I quite like the fit and finish of the cabin. Overall, it feels quite premium. This dual tone color treatment does add to the opulence on offer. Quite nice. Now I've hopped into the front, into the driver's seat of the urban cruiser Hyryder, and I quite like it. It's very impressive. Has a little bit of a hint of the Fortuner because the way that the central unit has been positioned and designed. So the treatment, it is a dual tone, actually a three-tone treatment if you consider this silver lining as well, but it is brown and black, and that sort of a treatment is also extended to the doors and the seats. In terms of the other features that you get a heads-up display that has been carried forward from the Brezza. We've already seen that. Also carried from the Brezza is a steering wheel that can be adjusted for rake and reach both. The driver's seat can be manually adjusted for height, so it's quite easy to find a comfortable driving position. The rest of the features, you get a wireless charger, you get ventilation for the front two seats, you also get ambient lighting, and you get illumination with these little mirrors here on both sides. Quite a nice thing. Also auto adjusting inside rear view mirror. Anything else that I'm missing? Oh, a central armrest that can be slided for your comfort. All in all, quite a comfortable cabin. I also like the fit and finish, and the materials that have been used makes it feel quite rich and very well put together. Good job, Toyota. Now, those were most of the details that we know of the urban cruiser Hyryder at this point. In terms of the safety, it will be offered with up to 6 airbags, ABS, EBD, hill descent control, hill hold control, and obviously discs on all 4 corners as we've discussed. Now, with the introduction of hybrid system to this segment, Toyota is definitely going to claim segment-leading fuel efficiency figures, which I'm quite excited to test out in the real-world scenario. I'm actually looking forward to driving this because I hope it drives as sporty as it looks. Do stay tuned to PowerDrift for that, and I'll see you around.